Hello and welcome back to the GorillaBiker. And today we are in Fenner right now, but we're going back to anyone who's watched the channel for a while might recognise Fenner as an area I stopped the video at the last time, and it's on the Copper Coast. So that's where we're heading. The Copper Coast Geopark. So we're gonna do a ride along here again. Now, I have done the Copper Coast before, so I'm not going to be doing this primarily for the Copper Coast. We're going to be talking about other things as we go along, and those things are like, there's been a couple of questions I've gotten recently, or especially around why don't I buy a new bike or upgrade to this or upgrade to that. So we're going to cover that a little bit, and we're also going to cover, you know, I suppose where I got the confidence to do YouTube, because I've had questions on those, all while we see stunning, beautiful coastline, probably some of the nicest in the world, definitely some of the nicest in Ireland. First and foremost though, so the questions I've gotten recently are, you know, people watching older videos especially, where I did kind of discuss the topics in and around other things, old bikes and having multiple bikes, and you know, having multiple old bikes instead of having, oh look at that view, beautiful, instead of having, like, you know, one new bike and all that stuff. And I'll be covering that a little bit as well. But I suppose to begin, as we mean to go, look at that. Did I forget to do it with my helmet strap? No, I did not. That is absolutely beautiful out in front of us. Just get past this car. Ah, my god, it's so pretty already. But yes, so basically someone was asking me recently, will I ever buy a new bike? Is it something that I have any aspirations for, and you know, all that stuff? And I mean, it is, but not for the reasons other people might think. You know, I love my old bikes, and as I've said previously, I'm okay with not having all the modes and traction control and all that stuff. It's not that I think they're unnecessary, or you know, they don't make you a real bike or anything like that, right? And it's nothing to do with that. I've said before, any technology that makes motorcycling more accessible, look at that. Oh, mucho beautiful. Guapo is beautiful in Spanish, as far as I remember. But anyway, beautiful is I don't know, is that even a word anywhere? I'm really just like putting an accent on it and be like, yeah, I know a language. But anyway, so we're coming into Anstown, I think now. This is, we left Fenner. This is Anstown Beach, which is very pretty, very pretty. If there was less people on the beach, I'd ride up to it and let you see it, but I don't really want to do that because it's kind of busy. But it is absolutely stunning. Like, Anstown Beach is honestly, it's absolutely beautiful, and so is, yeah, this whole area is just beautiful. And part of why I decided to come down this way is because last time I did this, I rode the other way along the coast, and I'm riding back this way, and there are some phenomenal views back this way too. So I kind of wanted to do it, and it's coming this way after work anyway. So I said, why the hell not? But anyway, right? None of those are the reasons why I wouldn't buy a new bike. Honestly, the only reason so far that I haven't bought a new bike is it's kind of boring. It's financial reasons. You know, I look at what I need or what I want from a bike, and that's kind of how I'm balancing stuff up. Like, when I bought this bike, you know, I wanted something touring-y. Look at that. Bellissimo, which is Italian for beautiful, I think. Absolutely stunning. There might be a bit of that in this video. But anyway, right, so it was financial, you know. I was weighing up what I wanted from a bike, and the CBF did everything I wanted it to do, and still does everything I wanted to do. I've had this bike around about a year, and I put over 7,000 miles on it in the year, even with all the lovely, wonderful lockdowns and whatnot. And it's just scooch past you there, sir. Driving in the middle of the road, but anyway. It still does everything I wanted to do. I've honestly no desire to get rid of this bike. at any time soon. I love this thing, and it does everything I could possibly ask of it. You know, it even did a track day and did pretty well on the track day. Like if I had no other bike, I would happily bring this back to the track with a few little minor modifications, but that's more because I just like change. I can't leave things alone. Pretty much, I have a problem. But you know, it's just down. It's purely down to financial. Like, one thing I'd love to own, brand new, spec the way I want it, is an Indian FG-R 1200, as I think everyone who watches the channel knows. I love those bikes. I absolutely love them. I love the sound of them. I love the look of them. I love the seating position of them, which I have sat on one. They're just, I think they're just gorgeous. And I think a lot of the bikes Indian are making at the moment are also gorgeous, like the Chief Dark Horse specifically. I just love them. So I suppose to not make the answer too long-winded, is yes, I would buy a new bike if I could ever properly afford one at some point. But the thing about me wanting to afford it, because I'd be buying it new, just look out over that ocean, edge of the world type stuff there. I would want it to be kind of right from the get-go. So I wouldn't just be spending the new bike price, I'd be spending a new bike plus extras price. So when that happens, it's going to be a big expense, and one that I'll really have to, how do I put this? It's going to have to be something that's really well thought out, that isn't going to impact other areas of my life, because like I said, I can get a bike that does everything I need it to do for a fraction of the cost, like this one. Look at this, it's just stunning. It's just the countryside here, the mountains in the distance, the coast to your left, the rolling hills to your right. This is just beautiful. And I nearly didn't come out and record this video because I've been feeling a lack of motivation recently for many reasons, nothing to do with the channel or anything like that, just personal ones. But you know, it is what it is. But yeah, so basically, look, I probably hope I hope I am in a position, which beach is this? I don't remember. Look at that, another beautiful little inlet. I will say one thing though, the beaches when we were up in the north of Ireland were much nicer sand-wise. A lot of the beaches down here like that, kind of stony with some sand, but there's a lot of stones on them, which is obviously not as good as, you know, beautiful golden sand. But look at that, beautiful. Scooch past you, thank you very much. But yeah, basically I hope one day I'm in a financial position to buy a brand new bike, spec'd how I want it. There you go, little fella. Spec'd how I want it, but that is also important to me, to get the spec right. Hello. But basically there's also a lot of stuff, you know, like for instance the rumoured Yamaha R9. If that was to become a reality, I would really like to buy it, because the R1 is a beast. I think the R9 would just be that enough non-beastness mixed with something that would be more usable on the road, that I could use for multiple things like track and road. That'd be something that I think would be really cool. Plus I have a hankering for Yamahas, so you know, that'd be also really nice. I love this road. I love this road so much. Oh, hello. He also loves this road. Well, maybe she, sorry, excuse me. Maybe she doesn't, because she's cycling up very big hills. Yeah, so I suppose the long short answer at this point, because I've been talking a while I imagine, look at that. So good. If you want to see me walk down to the cliffs, it's in my previous Copper Coast video. I'll try link it somewhere. Back in the day when my audio was far worse, so don't judge me too hard, please. But it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. But yeah, so yeah, I would like to buy one. Have to be spec right, and it'd have to be the right bike. Oh my god, the views don't stop. Unreal. And I don't envy anyone who can afford new bikes. I'm always happy to see people buy new bikes, because it's how the bike industry survives. If you don't give money to your manufacturers, look, so I got off here and went down to that cliff right there, and that's the old copper mine right there. The reason it's called the Copper Coast is it was full of copper. or probably still is in places. So there was mines here, and that is one of the old mines right there. You can go in and have a look there, and yeah, that's the cliff there. I walked up there and looked over and all that. So if you want to see that, do have a glance and see what you think. But you know, I like to see people invest into the companies they enjoy and stuff. Now, one little caveat to that is something I'd love to see is more refurb options. So if someone wants to upgrade their bike to something more modern, I'd love to see companies offer, you know, like refurb kits, like new brakes, new brake master cylinders, all that stuff that is coming from them, that is fitted to their bikes, and even on newer bikes, I know companies are already doing it, but make them modular, make stuff interchangeable, because it's something I've found Suzuki did a great job on back in the day, even if they didn't mean to, even if they were just trying to save money. My GSX-R 750 shares a lot of components with newer ones. The views here are just incredible, which obviously suits me a lot. You know, you can put K1 wheels onto my GSX-R, with K1 to K3 wheels on, with minor modifications, minor shimming. The K6 to K8 entire clutch assemblies fit, which is a slipper clutch, so that's a mod I might look at in the future. And why I'm talking about this is, it's kind of the lead on, is a lot of people have asked me recently, why do you keep putting money into your GSX-R? Why aren't you just investing in, you know, something that is newer, more track focused, more track oriented from factory? Which is a fair question, and it's also a very simple answer, is I don't think there's any point, because no matter what I buy, currently you can't spec things for someone my size from factory, right? So no matter what I buy, I'm going to have to do the rear shock on it, I'm going to have to do the front forks on it, at minimum, without looking at anything else like rear sets and all that stuff. So it's a financial thing. It's like, where's your start point? Now, number one, I absolutely love my GSX-R 750 SRAD. I adore that bike, and I probably will forever. I'm not joking, I really, really love it. I love how it looks, I love how it rides, I love everything about it, so I just really love it. But that's kind of it. You know, the starting point for that is X amount of euros. The starting point for, you know, something else, and this is Bunmahan, by the way, is another nice beach here. The starting point for a new bike is obviously a lot more expensive, but you're gonna end up having to invest all that money anyway to get the bike how you want it. So even if it was the case that I wanted a new track bike, I wouldn't be going for a very new one. I'd be going for something that was, you know, older and more affordable, because I still have to make all my changes to it. That's honestly kind of the crux of the matter. And that's, you know, that's it. Again, pretty straightforward, simple answer. Yeah, we'll go to SRAD Valley, sure. We'll go this way for the video. Is purely just that it's all the things you need to do, and I think a lot of riders don't realise this, a lot of motorbike riders, is if you're a standard human size, you need to worry about all this stuff a lot less. Unfortunately, I do not have that, I don't know what the word is, that option, I suppose. I am, you know, a large human. Even if I was to lose a lot of weight, even if I was to be like the optimal weight for someone my size and build, I'm still a pretty damn heavy human, which means that no stock bike is going to be built to me. So again, it's really about starting point, you know. Obviously, like I've said before, I was lucky enough to be given that GSX-R 750 SRAD for free, which I will be forever grateful. And, you know, then I had to put the money into it to restore it and refurb it. Which, you know, there's a full video on the cost breakdown of that, and then I've added all my more track focused bits afterwards. But it meant, because I did it that way, I'm not a wealthy man, by the way. I just spent all my money on bikes and cameras for this channel. But basically all those track bits, it's meant that I could afford to buy them. I could look at that view. I could afford to invest in, you know, the spare set of wheels, spare set of tires, the new brake master cylinder, and just basically to get that bike more up to date. So I don't need a newer bike with, you know, 160 brake horsepower. One day would I like one for the track? Again, of course. Don't get me wrong, I would spend that money if I had it to spend, but I don't. So you kind of make the best out of what you can. Now, I don't know the situations of the people asking me these questions. Maybe they have a lot of spare money, and in which case, all I will say is, I'm delighted for you. You know what I mean? That's not something that I would ever be like, oh, I'm jealous. It's much more, I'm happy for you. You know what I mean? But I'm also very happy with what I have. So I hope that answers the question. I hope that makes sense, because I know some people were like, you know, I don't get why you're spending so much money on an older bike. I hope that answers the question. And then the last one, as we're stuck behind this big old Tarracore, which is Irish retractor, is around where I got the confidence for YouTube. And I mean, the simple answer is I didn't. I can talk to a camera just fine now, perfectly confident doing that, but you have to remember, I've been doing it for 2.5 years, more than 2.5 years, and you know, over 250 videos. So it's kind of like, it's more like a learned tolerance than confidence. Yeah, it's more like a learned tolerance and confidence. And you know, even it's something that I never really considered. Like I said, look, I've covered this slightly before, so I won't go too far into it, but it's something I always kind of wanted to do. So one day I just decided to do it, because growing up, and this isn't my parents, this is teachers and stuff in school, is, you know, you were always told you had to go to school to get a proper job, and at the time everyone was being pushed towards colleges and all that crack. And I'm not saying I regret it. I enjoy my job. I'm relatively happy I went and did engineering, but I am someone who enjoys working with my hands, so I'm very lucky to be in the job that I am as a mechanical engineer, that I still get to do that stuff, because I think I would get a lot more job satisfaction from, you know, going and using my hands for something, whether it be a machinist, whether it be, you know, something in building, whether it be a mechanic, whatever it might be. I think I'd get a lot more job satisfaction out of it. And realistically, that's what actually matters. What is on this brown sign? Ballyvooney Cove. Should we go this way? Hopefully it's not too far. And yeah, so anyway, basically that's going off topic. We were pushed towards, you know, proper jobs, and to a large degree, I think the creative aspect of people and whatever creative flair they might have is often stamped out in school. I've mentioned it before, I was bullied a lot in school, which obviously also makes you stay even more quiet and keep your head down. To a degree, I was always a little bit opinionated about certain things. So, you know, thankfully I retained most of myself, but anyone who's been subject to bullying, you know what it's like. And anyone who wasn't, I don't think I can accurately explain it other than to say it sucks. So, you know, that's school. I think in Ireland especially, well, I don't know, I'm not saying especially because I've never been to school in any other countries, but Ireland does have a tendency in the school system to stamp out imagination and creativity to a degree. I'm not saying it's on purpose, I'm just saying that it does seem to happen. Yes, this was a good spot to come to finish this video. I hope there's like some form of flat ground I can turn around on though. That's class. That is class. Beautiful. Unreal. Found a nice quiet spot. My favourite things to find. So yeah, we'll finish off the video here anyway. But that is. Are you gonna sink? You good? You good? So that's one thing, you know, that the Irish school system kind of does stamp out imagination to a degree. So yeah, I don't know where I got the confidence from it. I'm not even going to say it was confidence. It was just kind of something that I wanted to do, and it happened. And that's why I always tell people when they ask me, oh, should I try this YouTubing thing or motovlogging thing, it's just, there's only one way to find out are you going to like it, and that's to do it. So give it a go. and this is very pretty. So yeah, that's kind of it, I think. This small cove shows snapshots of Ireland's journey through 460 million years of Earth history. This part of Ireland was once an ocean floor close to the South Pole. Very interesting. A land eroded by ice sheets and glaciers, a modern landscape sculpted by the sea. The dark rocks at the bottom of the cliff are sandstones and mudstones, originally deposited horizontally on the ocean floors, layers upon layers of mud, sand and mud. The boundary between the mudstones and the boulder clay represents a time gap of nearly 460 million years. Madness. And back up the hill we go. So yeah, honestly, like I said, I don't know, do I still have the confidence? Like even if I were to try to do it in front of people, I often just choke and run away. So it's not a confidence thing, it's more like a desire thing. If you try this YouTube gig and you enjoy it, you'll stick with it naturally. You'll want to do it. If you don't want to do it, that's absolutely fine. It's not for everyone. Don't be pressuring yourself to do these things. Just enjoy your life. That's all I'll say is try find happiness in your life. And I'm not trying to be ideological or a hippie or anything, but being happy is important. I wasn't for a long time. And yeah, so when you find something you like, when you find something you're good at, when you find something that engages you, that you can be passionate about, chase it, and chase it with all of your heart, so long as you don't leave yourself completely broke and with no friends, etc. So, you know, if your passion is to go around stealing stuff, maybe don't do that one. But if it's legal and, you know, you're not going to upset too many people doing it, then have at it. If you've watched this far, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the scenery that was visible in today's video, because I certainly did. This is a very pleasant Wednesday after work on a fantastic bike, and I have some updates coming on this bike soon. I think I'm ready to do the review on these tires, as I am burning through them this year. And also a review on these ultimate add-ons heated grips, because I've also used them for a length of time. I'm comfortable with giving you an update on. So if you'd like to see those two things, please do stay tuned to the channel. Whether that you search for me every now and again or subscribe, I don't really mind. Whatever suits you. Whatever suits you. And that's it. I've burned your ears for long enough. I do hope you enjoyed this video. As always, a very special thank you to all of my patrons. You're all legends, and I do appreciate your support a massive amount. There's some things coming to patrons hopefully soon, announcements wise, a couple of OD things. There'll be a video on it. It'll be for everyone. It's happening. And yes, as always, and last, thanks again. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, adios. Outro crew, if you had the choice between buying 5 old bikes that you really like, or 1 new bike that you also really like, which would you pick? Would you go for the 1 new bike or the 5 old bikes? I'm genuinely interested to know, like, what would people spend? Say if you could buy 5 €3,000 bikes, so 15,000 euro, or you could buy 1 new 15,000 euro bike, what would you pick? What would you pick? Leave your reasons in the comments. If you want me to make a follow-up on any of the things you say, let me know. And yeah, there you go. Bye.